Hello, Stress Recognition and Management class. I'm Dr. Lori Wagner, your instructor for this semester. I hope you're all adjusting to starting up another new semester. I was just looking back at my previous two fall welcome videos talking about COVID. That was a little traumatic. We are obviously still in COVID, and we have also monkeypox, but I think we're in a lot healthier position. I know I am. I've got 4 shots, and I'm waiting for the next one that will hopefully, I think, be here in a couple weeks. But in any case, I know it's still around, and I know we're still, not all thriving. So this is the perfect class to be taking right now. This class is one of my favorites because it's a practical application class. So you'll notice as you go through it on Canvas, and it is already all set up for you, that this class is really about you and helping you learn to manage and navigate your stress. Ideally we would eliminate stress. I had a doctor say that to me one time. He was like, lose weight, give up caffeine, and eliminate stress. And I was like, all right, well, I can lose weight. And then the pandemic hit, and I put it back on. But I gave up caffeine, which is not awesome. I still pretend with decaf. Eliminate stress, is that a real thing? So notice our course is recognize and manage. So we can't always eliminate stress, but can we essentially inoculate ourselves so when the stress comes, we're adept at handling it? Can we look at our stressors and see what we can control and what maybe we might be able to modify? And then can we also just learn how to deal with the stress, for which there's often, nothing we can do about it except be in it and manage it. So we're going to take a look at, from a health education lens, the perspective of a 7-stage model, where we look at both primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention, but we are really going to focus on the primary and secondary, as you will see. I love Canvas. I've been here for a year now. I know some of you are brand new. So if you're ever struggling with Canvas, just let me know. Because everybody is on Canvas now, there are a lot of good trainings that you could take should you need any help. But I think Canvas is beautiful. And you'll notice I have the home, the syllabus, the modules, the discussions, the grades, and the people so you could chat with each other. And every single piece is ready to go for the entire semester, so that makes me feel good. Notice that, again, because this is a practical course, everything is set up in modules that you have 2 weeks to complete. So module 1, you'll notice things are due September 4th. And then as you go through module 2, will be then due 2 weeks later. I do weeks from Monday to Sunday. So this, in my other classes, I call this week 0 because it's just these weird 2 days. For us, I just collapsed it into the first 2 weeks. So you actually get a little bit more time. But I remember what this time is like as a student, and frankly, as a faculty and a coordinator, I definitely, this week is messy, let's just be honest. I'm the coordinator for both health education and promotion, as well as integrated health studies, which means I oversee essentially 11 different concentrations, a bunch of faculty, a bunch of GAs. So, I love teaching this class because I still need to learn the materials in this class. And I think, it's not like you've never had stress before or you've never attempted to learn how to manage your stress before, right? But sometimes I think we know things, or things have been working well enough, and so we don't investigate them. And I think about breathing, for example, right? We've all been breathing. Obviously, if we stop breathing, that's problematic. But it wasn't until I was swimming and attempting to do some triathlons, which I did complete them, that someone said, "You're breathing underwater, right?" I was like, I'm not a fish. How do you breathe underwater? And it was really that I was supposed to be exhaling when my face was in the water. And so here I grew up on Lake Erie. I thought myself to be a very strong swimmer. And it turns out I didn't even really know the basics. And I will say most of us, even myself right now, because I can feel it, breathe wrong, right? It's one of the reasons that I attempt to meditate and go to yoga, is to slow myself down, center myself, and get in touch with that breath. And so we're going to do some of that breathing actually in this course, but we're also going to look at from I call it well-being, but a wellness perspective, which is not a favorite word. As a health education specialist, wellness is often those people that pretend to do our work without any of our training. But health and well-being, I think, is definitely something that we'll focus on. And you'll notice that in that model, there's at least, 12 different ways of attacking. Attacking is probably not the right word, but managing our stress. So some of us like to run, or sometimes I love to be on my lawnmower and process things, or I walk my dogs, right? Some of us like to punch things like a kickboxing class or, a punching bag. Some of us meditate or pray. Some of us walk in nature and nature bathe, right? Some of us watch a little too much reality television and or, crime and Hallmarks, none of which is healthy, but which gets my, it's not unhealthy, it's just embarrassing probably for me, but ways I can just like check out and focus on whatever is happening here and try to like silence all the other noise and voices in my head. So in any case, we're going to explore that. The upside of this class is it's all about you. So if you didn't already notice, there's no quizzes, there's no exams, there's just simply these modules where each time we're going to look at a different dimension, right? So this is just basic, but notice there's physical, environmental, social, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and then I've collapsed occupational and financial because it just seems to make the most sense, and then we end up with 8 modules. In each one of those modules, there's essentially going to be 2 things that you're working on. And you'll notice there are no books for this class. I will provide you all the reading material and videos and content that you need. But I do have an expectation that you have both a planner and a journal. So let's just talk about that for a second. One of the new GAs was like, I prefer electronic, and that's fine. I prefer paper. I also do have it electronically because I do like that my phone says like, hey, you're supposed to be somewhere. Did you forget? But I also have my paper planner. You don't have to have a paper planner. You can have an electronic planner, but you do need a planner that's going to be able to get you monthly, weekly, and then sometimes daily. So I'm still working on mine, but my planner has the month where I can put all my classes and meetings, which aren't there yet. And then in my weekly, then I will get there, put each of my things that I'm doing in that day, and it helps me also keep track of like, okay, when I show up for this class, I need to make sure I have this, or it'll say like stress module 2 is due, so I remember that I need to get there. I love Canvas. If I didn't already say that, Canvas will also have your like to do, and for an instructor, it says like you need to grade these things. So in any case, and then sometimes we're also going to dial down to a daily where we're actually going to have like the hours that we will look at. We're not going to do that all the time because at the same, on the other hand, we don't want to overschedule ourselves, which could also be stressful. But I do know that sometimes we don't actually manage our time appropriately in ways that can get us in trouble, right? So you'll notice that the planner assignment, for example, in Module 1 is for you to just take a look at your class schedule, look at all of your syllabi, which you hopefully have already or you will be getting very shortly, and then think about and go into, okay, go into your planner and enter all of your assignments, every single one, the due dates and the monthly view as well as the weekly view. And feel free to color code, which is not a requirement, but I highly recommend. And then we'll play with that a little bit more as we go, because often my students have their due dates in their planner. And then I'll say, so when are you going to work on this? And they're like, well, before the due date. I said, but did you plan for that? Did you plan the time that it might take to think about what you want to do for that assignment and to collect the materials or the resources that you might need, and then to like actually do the work? And then does it need typed and edited and looked at? Because, I'm not going to lie to you that say that I'm not someone that would do something at the last minute. My mother used to call me last minute Lori, and that worked for me mostly, right? But I do find that I do work good underneath some amount of pressure. As stress, we talk about distress and eustress, and the complete absence of stress actually is not healthy either. But if we're not planning out that time, then we can get lost, right? So for example, this semester, I got all my syllabi ready. I have 4 classes this semester last week because, again, as the coordinator, I thought, okay, if my classes are all ready to go, that allows me the time this week when my faculty were back on contract and now classes have started. So if anything else needs to implode or explode, I'm not going to be that negatively affected by, my work is not going to be because my syllabi are already ready. So I had a GA yesterday with a little bit of a crisis and I had the space to meet with her and help her work that out because my work was already done. Because stuff happens, right? That paper's due on Thursday. You're going to work on Wednesday night, but maybe your partner breaks up with you or you're just not feeling it or, your computer crashes or your Wi-Fi is out or whatever. And so waiting to the last minute doesn't always help. And so we'll work on that as we go. The first one is easy, though. We're just going to do, when is everything due? And I will be doing it right along with you, as you saw, because my planner is still a little empty. The other assignment that we'll have every single module is a journal assignment. The journal is the other requirement that you have. Again, I like markers and pens, and you'll always see me with like way too many choices. Way too many choices. I don't really think that's a thing, but my spouse might disagree with me. The journal is yours. So if you want to type it, if you want to write it somewhere, you're never going to share it with me. But you are asked to record certain things, and each one will have a prompt for you. And so like most online courses, as soon as the modules open up, you're going to want to take a look and see what the work is. You do not want to go in if module 1 is due on September 4th, on September 3rd, or even 4th, frankly, and think you're going to be able to complete that work because you're not. In the 2-week modules, I like to think about the first week as process the information, and there's a lot of like thinking about how does this affect you? What are your patterns? What are your issues, perhaps? And then the second week is then, generally where then you can look at, okay, so how might I modify this? Or what is Wagner saying I might want to try about this, that, or the other, whatever it is, right? So make sure you're at least checking in. I'm asking you to write at least something in your journal, and I'm looking at the assignment just to make sure, at least 3 times a week. And so notice this one says by the end of this module, you should have 6 entries because that'd be 2 weeks. And then once you have those 6 entries, I have these, for this one, 4 questions that you need to respond to. And the 4 questions are what is going to give you the points for that, right? And I can't, it's your stuff. So it's, really you lose points by not doing the work, not necessarily by what you say. All right. And then you'll notice, not in week 1 or module 1, I should say, but in some of the other modules, there are also going to be like actual assignments, and they'll walk you through, and they're all at the end of each module, so you can take a look at those as you're going through. Keep in mind, the syllabus tab I'm a fan of it. I'm actually just noticing I didn't put the new syllabus there, so I will do that directly. But if you click on syllabus, you'll see the electronic version of our syllabus, which is also in module 1, and then you'll see the summary that goes through the whole course. It's not ironic, I don't think, that I also have the class calendar for you. So if you click on the calendar, you will also there see, what are the assignments due. As a side note, you can do that for all your Canvas classes. You just got to make sure you say, yeah, I want all of these. And that'll also already be color-coded for you. And I believe it merges even with another electronic calendar that you might be using or working with. But in any case, all right, I'm looking at my list to see if I did everything. I always leave the other videos up because my YouTube channel is just kind of hilarious to me historically as I get older, and it's going to change. I'm getting my one eye LASIK'd tomorrow. So as of tomorrow, I won't need glasses anymore, which I have to say I'm kind of excited about because now I don't have to worry about this, and then I can take them off and actually still see you, and hopefully my procedure goes well. We'll see. But in any case, so when you get to these spaces, they'll link you, because they're all housed on my YouTube page, to older videos, and some of them are even in here, such that you are able to if I've missed anything in here. But just keep in mind that the due dates and everything go with whatever's on the content in Canvas. Because if you're watching an old video, like in 2021, for example, it's going to talk about learn. The 2020 video. The 2021 video is going to talk about being my first semester back from COVID, which is not true. I've been here since last fall. So, all right, I'm going to stop because at this point, like always, I'm just rambling. So please go through the information, knowing that you have a little time, right? It's not urgent that you do anything right this second. You will see that there is a name catcher just so I can, get a hold of who you are. And if you, in addition to putting your pronouns on Canvas, you want to put that on there. I also can appreciate, though, if your name is, William and you prefer to be called Bill, feel free to stick that in there too. So thrilled to see you. I'm here every day. I teach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the fall. So I'm here every day, and I have those office hours from 9 to noon on Tuesday, Thursday. But again, I'm here every day. So if you want to come chat with me in person or go for a walk on campus or even meet with me remotely through Teams, please just let me know. And if there's any other way I can be helpful, again, reach out. All right, that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to go update that syllabus and post this video so that you all feel like the class is ready. All right, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here, seriously. And I'm looking forward to another amazing semester. And this one, hopefully, not in masks, so might be even better. All right, see you soon.